Listen carefully, my dearest child. This message was not sent to you by mistake. Time was temporarily suspended in order to transport you to this location. The Lord's voice is currently reaching you as heaven leans in, for the message you are about to receive is a once-in-a-lifetime promise. Your performance is excellent. Your youth is returning according to God. This restoration is not a sign. It is spiritual, emotional, and can even be witnessed. The fatigue clock is regressing. You are now carrying less weight than in the past. Furthermore, accessing this document at this time suggests that divine timing has already chosen you. The years aren't always the deciding factor. Things can sometimes get in the way of their progress. My child, you engaged in battles that were never meant to last this long. The inability to sleep, the experience of crying alone, and the weight of responsibilities that sap one's energy. These experiences had a deeper impact on your soul than time could ever have. However, it is critical to consider this. God is conveying to them that He is not only healing them, but also transforming them. Your eyes will become more luminous rather than fatigued. Soon, strength will replace weight in your body. You will feel a sense of youth as your spirit is rejuvenated at its core. Archangel Michael appears this season as a guardian responsible for your personal development, rather than a distant warrior. He has been involved in battles that you have not witnessed, managing recurring patterns of fatigue, tardiness, and self-doubt. Occasionally, you felt older than your actual age, fatigued and exhausted without justification. That was not indicative of weakness. The conflict was a war. We are currently engaged in an alternative conflict. Archangel Michael's sword is not raised against you. It was raised in your honor, eliminating the cause of your energy drain. According to the Bible, I'm reclaiming what stress has taken. Years of stress have diminished your happiness. Laughter gave way to responsibility. Survival supplanted life. Nevertheless, the Lord is restoring your youth. Not the fleeting kind that fades quickly, but the kind that stems from peace and lasts. It will manifest itself on your face. Numerous people will be astounded by your incredible energy. You will be asked what changed, and you will be able to determine that it was not a product, a routine, or simply a lucky break. It was divine healing. Please be cautious. This is crucial. The adversary tried to convince you that your most memorable experiences were behind you. His words were similar to, "Age is inevitable. Joy is a seasonal phenomenon, and strength continues to wane." However, God says, "The seasons do not bind me." He is the person who restores your strength, like that of an eagle. He is the person who resurrects the years that the locust destroyed. This message indicates that you are entering a period in which life will reintegrate into your life. Archangel Michael is prompting you to consider an important issue. Appearance is not the only determinant of youth. It refers to power. When your spirit is rejuvenated, your voice becomes stronger. When you're with me, I feel lighter. Your confidence has been restored without the appearance of arrogance. Individuals will feel secure once more in your presence. Children will be drawn to your happiness. Opportunities will notice your enthusiasm. This is not a display of arrogance. This is how you coordinate. God has stated that you are receiving this information at this time for a specific purpose. Your inner age has been accruing for a long time. For a while, it seemed as if hope, dreams, and laughter were being rejected. Nonetheless, Heaven has declared this. You will not carry your burden from yesterday into tomorrow. Currently, there is no gradual restoration underway. It moves at a faster pace. What you thought would take years has been completed in a matter of months. Please do not dismiss this as a figment of your imagination. Don't try to rationalize it. God initially causes people to regain their youth in a discreet manner. Peace returns, sleep deepens, and stress begins to ease. As a result, you notice that your reflection exhibits an altered sensation. Your posture changes. You find it easier to smile. This is how divine renewal is recognized. This word is protected by the seal of Archangel Michael. The stress that attempted to emerge will be unable to do so. The voices that drained you will no longer be audible to you. God is teaching you how to protect your energy without feeling any negative emotions. You are allowed to take a break. You're encouraged to smile. The Lord has given you joy, allowing you to experience youth once more. It is also your biggest asset. Pay close attention. This change will not be understandable to all people. The old you is acceptable to those who are used to seeing the tired, forgiving, and always available you. God says, I am restoring you for my glory, not their comfort. Your disposition is more buoyant, resulting in a youthful appearance. Because there is no fear, you will feel like a child again. Your newfound sense of purpose will allow you to live a longer life. This is just the beginning. What God is doing is far more extensive than we can see. It refers to destiny, calling, and longevity. You have not yet finished with heaven. There is still laughter to be shared, love to be felt, and work that needs your renewed energy. Please keep this in mind. Take a deep breath, because the upcoming events will reveal the mechanics of this restoration and the importance of its implementation. Allow yourself to fully embrace this truth right now, my chosen one. Your current situation is neither a coincidence nor an emotional high. This is a divine process that is occurring one step at a time. According to the world's perspective, God does not restore youth. He does not begin with the mirror. He begins with the areas of your soul that have been occupied by stress for an extended period of time, but are out of reach of time. This is the point where the transformation has begun. As time passed, you occasionally felt as if you were falling behind in life. As expectations grew and responsibilities piled up, you unknowingly delayed your happiness. You promised yourself that you would take a break later, be happier later, and live a longer life. Nonetheless, you continued to move forward. God observed this and told them, enough. The anticipation has ended. The valve that controls pressure is being opened. You're not behind schedule. You've arrived just in time for the restoration process. Archangel Michael's role is to guard the gate of your strength. His inclusion in this message is not an indication. He ensures that thieves cannot reclaim what God has restored. Because the truth is that not all of the factors that contributed to your aging were physical. Spiritual warfare was underway. You fought battles in the absence of light. You carried a heavy emotional burden on your own. You maintained your composure in front of others, but inside you were quietly unraveling. It is costly to be that strong. This is God's message. I will repay you with renewal. Please take note of this. The return of youth is the result of a renewed sense of hope. The body responds immediately when hope returns. Your breathing pattern changes. You get better sleep. Your thoughts become more peaceful. The world may not see it as a miracle, but heaven does. God's joy has resumed its flow like oil. Oil also alleviates the sensation of roughness. It promotes mobility. It relieves stress. This is why you'll notice an improvement in your mood. This is why you will not need to take any action to regain your energy. What is the reason for my sense of being older than I am? Some of you have been contemplating God. Today, God addresses you because you carried burdens that were not your own. You assumed the suffering of others. You were required to handle family stress. You weren't concerned about carrying expectations. However, God is currently lifting that burden. As soon as it is lifted, your posture changes. Your expression becomes more controlled. Your spirit begins to breathe once more. That demonstrates the restoration process in action. I'd like you to pause today and make your initial agreement with heaven. By typing Amen in the comments section, you are indicating your agreement that the burden is now lifted. Instead, it will eventually subside. Rather, I believe it will subside. In the present moment, however, you agree that the burden is being lifted. Your Amen isn't just a word. It is a spiritual key that will open the door to your liberation. The shift in your mood is palpable as you write it. In the same vein, Archangel Michael is cutting off unhealthy soul connections that cause fatigue. There were conversations that sapped your energy, places that depleted you, and relationships that exploited your resilience without reciprocating. God is not isolating you for this. He is taking this action to protect you. Youth cannot thrive in environments where energy is constantly lost. Your renewal includes safety. Pay close attention. This is crucial. God is not restoring your youth so you can continue to live in the past. He is reassembling it so that you will be able to face the future. Tasks require clarity, confidence, and strength. People may be moved just by your presence. You will not appear tired when they observe you. There will be tranquility. Their perspective will be on life, not aging. Take immediate action to express your agreement with this message, even if it only elicited a strong emotional response. If you enjoy this video, it demonstrates your willingness to accept what God is relinquishing. Please keep in mind that this term is intended for all people, not just you. Share it with someone who is feeling discouraged and neglected. Indicate in the comments section that your words have reignited your faith, which is the reason for the restoration. It is now critical to advance. The exact words must be entered in the comments. I am being rejuvenated from the inside out. This isn't a wish. If you believe in this, it will manifest in your life. When you write it, you are not simply offering commentary. You are placing a declaration seed in the soil of your spirit. Ensure that your delivery is precise. Have faith in the stuff you're creating. State a statement in heaven that is consistent with God's actions. Furthermore, if this channel has been useful to you, please consider subscribing to become a part of this growing community. This ensures that the message reaches those who need it most. God says, I am also instructing you on how to preserve the things I repair. Youth and strength remain in the presence of gratitude and peace, respectively. You will feel more confident in declining requests. You will refrain from providing excessive amounts of information. There is no reason to express regret. You'll decide to take a break. These changes are substantial. They are indicators of maturity while still young. Heaven values this equilibrium. Archangel Michael warns that the adversary will attempt to instill doubt in your mind. You will say that nothing has changed. However, Restoration frequently begins in the background before it appears to be complete. Seeds begin to sprout beneath the surface. Don't judge this moment based on the events of the day. Investigate the changes that occur within you. You will feel a renewed sense of enthusiasm for life. You will gain an increased level of interest. You will naturally laugh once more. You're also improving your memory. Some of you have aged emotionally as a result of buried disappointments, unresolved losses, and unspoken words. Those places are currently under the influence of God. Not to exacerbate, but to bring the situation to a close. Closure restores your youth. The practice of peace restores one's energy. When forgiveness is exercised, the soul feels relieved. Please, bear with me while I provide more information about this message. The following section will explain why this restoration is happening so quickly and what you should avoid doing during this critical period. Please wait a moment. C. This section will be of interest to you because it functions as a cohesive unit. My beloved, the area you're about to enter is sacred. This is not simply the next stage of the restoration process. That is the rationale. God cannot create an individual without a purpose. He avoids traveling back in time for entertainment purposes. He restores youth when there is unfinished business, unreleased glory, or fruit that has waited patiently to be released. This is why the change appears abrupt. Heaven was obligated to wait for the appropriate moment. The door is currently open. A large number of people are unable to understand a specific concept. Youth and vision are inextricably connected. When you lose vision, your soul ages rapidly. When hope is postponed, the heart becomes fatigued, and fatigue spreads throughout the body. God intended to target your objectives rather than your future. The enemy tried to persuade you that dreaming was foolish, striving for more was foolish, and that your time had passed. Today, however, God has declared that your vision is once more alive. When vision is restored, vitality returns as well. Archangel Michael is currently monitoring your thoughts. You were attempting to age faster than you should have due to old cognitive patterns like compulsive overthinking, self-blame, and constant comparisons to others. These items reduce the enjoyment of life. They strip the soul of its color. However, heaven is altering the way you communicate with yourself. Your thoughts will appear to become more positive, clearer, and peaceful. This tranquility is a strong indication that the core of youth is resurfacing. Some of you are experiencing temporary relief from physical fatigue with no discernible cause. Some people feel an emotional lightness, as if a burden has been lifted from their shoulders during prayer or sleep. This isn't a fabrication. God is alleviating the fatigue that has built up in your body. Your body stores stress for an extended period of time. However, the Lord is now providing you with a new perspective. He continues, I am providing you with a level of relaxation that sleep alone cannot provide. This restoration is also linked to identity. You lost sight of your own identity as you tried to be everything for everyone else. You became more dependable, your strength grew, and freedom was no longer an option. Your freedom is being restored by God. Being able to appreciate the small things. Able to laugh without feeling guilty. The capacity to relive one's life. The enemy is concerned about this freedom because a satisfied soul is difficult to control. Archangel Michael wishes for you to remember that your conflicts have been resolved. What made you feel depleted? It cannot be accessed again unless the door is opened. 18. God is facilitating your ability to see things more clearly. When something goes wrong, you'll notice it right away. You will no longer make connections that are too expensive. This information ensures the security of your renewal. Now pay close attention. Restoration does not mean that life will never be difficult again. It indicates that you will no longer be unable to sleep at night due to problems. You will have a quicker recovery. You will have a quicker recovery. You will no longer feel as depressed as you did before. Being robust in that manner indicates a renewed sense of youth. It is the term used in heaven to describe the balance of strength and tranquility. God is also sending out an attraction via your light. People will be drawn to your energy regardless of how hard you work. It is simply the way you radiate. Pride is not the cause of this radiance. It is consistent. When your soul is in tune with God's rhythm, your entire being becomes harmonious. Some people may be curious about the incident's cause. Individuals will be motivated simply by your presence. This is a ministry that functions without the use of language. He asserts, "I am rejuvenating your youth because I have faith in your ability to exert influence." To reiterate, influence does not always manifest as platforms or crowds. At times, it is as simple as a single conversation, presence, or life that changes. People who are tired of life will admire your renewed vitality. They will see how God continues to heal, renew, and restore through you. Furthermore, this moment carries a responsibility. Avoid haste. Refrain from making comparisons. Avoid environments that encourage burnout. Maintain peace to the best of your ability. It is truly wonderful to witness God's work. Accept it as is. It is not the right time to demonstrate one's abilities. It's time to receive. Archangel Michael is using the power of God to secure this phase. He claims that the cycle of emotional aging has been disrupted. It will not happen again. You will not revert to survival mode. You're getting closer to achieving long-term happiness. Act with faith as this word penetrates your heart. However, you are now ready. You will not become intoxicated or depleted by attention or opportunities. You will conduct yourself in a straightforward and modest way. This balance ensures that you maintain stability as your velocity increases. Please stop immediately and respond with faith. If this message speaks to you, please indicate in the comments section that you would like to receive restored years. Your life will experience divine acceleration and redeemed time as a result of the recent transmission of the blessing code 1163. Additionally, pay close attention, as God's actions in this location serve as an invitation at this time. This message is being delivered to you as a result of someone's involvement in God's work. I hear the Lord saying, as this awakening deepens within you, be aware that your assistance with this mission is not a joke. This is a divine omen. By doing so, you become a part of Jesus' plan to rescue spirits that are still in hiding. Each seed evolves into a source of light, combating the existence of darkness. Jesus claims that by giving water to others, you will receive it yourself. This isn't historical. It is an ongoing commitment to your future. Approach this situation with a strategy and faith. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already built for your life. God is now speaking with caution as speed builds up around you, my dear, because speed without wisdom can quietly cause you to become fatigued once more. Many people fail in this endeavor not because they lack belief, but because they have lost rhythm. The next phase is to figure out how to continue without becoming exhausted, as God instructs. When God speeds up the process, the sensation is not the same as being under pressure from the world. There's acceleration, pressure, and flow. Pressure necessitates speed. Alignment is accomplished through acceleration. When something is truly from God, it does not rob you of your tranquility, even if it requires you to exert yourself. The path is lit by peace. If you lose your tranquility, please pause. Disobedience does not result from that pause. It assists you in determining the best course of action. This season, Archangel Michael is close by because both momentum and spiritual resistance are attracting attention. Instead of interrupting you, I want to divert your attention. Distraction often appears to be a beneficial proposition. There are too many options, invitations, and promising ideas at once. According to God, it is not permissible to engage in every possible activity. Timing ensures that strength is maintained. You are developing the ability to move intentionally rather than by accident. In the past, people were motivated by fear. They are concerned about being left behind, forgotten, or missing out. Intention is currently the result of trust. Be confident that the necessary items will be delivered. Believe that you do not need to seek out what God has already provided for you. This trust is what keeps you young and energetic. In addition, you are getting closer to reaching a state of relaxation than you have ever been. Resting is no longer an effective way to recover after a fall. It contributes to long-term growth. You will take a break before becoming fatigued. You will stop before you get too tired. This kind of wisdom is rare and sacred. What a transformation! This shows God that you believe in His ability to work, even when you take a break. Archangel Michael is also assisting you in recognizing subtle warning signs. Losing interest in previously enjoyable activities, feeling stress in your body, and experiencing irritability without reason. This isn't a failure. They are significant. Responding quickly keeps you from becoming more fatigued. Ignoring them leads to the repetition of old patterns. You now have the necessary resources to make an informed decision. This is also how God is transforming your perspective on productivity. Historically, productivity and output were synonymous. It currently entails the birth of many children. Fruitfulness includes rest, joy, connection, and tranquility. You will no longer base your value on the number of tasks you complete each day. The extent to which you maintain alignment will determine the outcome. Alignment maintains one's luminosity. Being lightweight makes it easier to maintain a youthful appearance. There may be times when you want to show how much you've improved in order to prove that you've undergone a transformation. Please avoid acting on that impulse. Your actions will be more convincing than your words. Continue to speak out and remain consistent. Your evidence should be peace. You do not need to inform others about God's actions. It is critical that you provide security for Him. Archangel Michael is protecting you from comparison during this fast-paced season. When movement begins, comparison attempts to reintegrate itself. Other people may be moving more quickly or differently. Remember this. Going fast does not guarantee success. It's called sustainability. You're not racing anyone else, God. You'll have a prosperous future because He guides you there. You are also learning that it is acceptable to say no. Saying no can be just as important as saying yes. Now, each yes you say carries weight. Do not overcommit. God values focused obedience over scattered enthusiasm. As you realize you are no longer battling time, a sense of calm happiness will set in. It's your partner. The days will not feel heavier, but fuller. It will be quieter at night. Mornings will be easier to get through. These things demonstrate that your pace is on track with heaven. God is also teaching you to enjoy your progress instead of rushing to finish. You used to avoid parties because you were always worried about the next thing that would happen. You're going to stop and thank God for how far you've come. Being thankful promotes personal growth. It prevents you from striving. It reminds your spirit that you are safe. Archangel Michael is ready to overextend himself again. Before you go too far, you'll feel a gentle check inside. Please be cautious. That mental check isn't fear. It ensures your safety. It becomes stronger the more you honor it. That isn't what this season is about. It has to do with staying steady. The intensity fades quickly. Being consistent creates a legacy. God is more concerned with how long you can walk in happiness than how quickly you complete your work. Youth is kept alive through rhythm, not speed. Something significant begins to occur as you settle into this steady pace. In the best-case scenario, your life will become predictable. It maintains peace, stability, and joy. That kind of stability is both appealing and blessed. The next section will go even further, as God will discuss how being young again affects your relationships, choices, and long-term goals. This is where things begin to come together. Maintain an open door. You're not just moving forward. You're making wise decisions. This is why subscriptions are more important than you realize. You are not simply following a page when you subscribe to this channel. You're preparing yourself for a steady flow of prophetic information. You're telling God, I want to stay in line. I want to stay in touch with the voice that breathes life into me. Subscribing is a spiritual way to establish yourself. It makes you feel as if you're locked into God's plan for your life. That way, you will not miss the next word, activation, or breakthrough that God has in store for you. If you have not already done so, click the subscribe button right now. It should be your statement that you will remain under the spout where the glory is revealed. Make a promise to stay in divine alignment. As your life settles into its new rhythm, my beloved, God wants you to consider the future He has made possible through your renewed youth. This is about more than just how you feel now. It's also about what you plan to do tomorrow. God's restoration of youth improves vision. It makes everything clear. You have the courage to make a different decision after reading it. And the decisions you make today will quietly shape the rest of your life. There will be changes in how you make decisions. Previously, people made decisions under stress, fear, or a sense of need. You quickly decided to end the pain. There is now a space between the question and the answer, however. There were peace talks there. He says, I'm teaching you to make decisions from clarity, not exhaustion. This alone will save you years of unnecessary trouble. When it comes time to make a decision, Archangel Michael is there for you. He will assist you in determining what fits your new life and what fits the old you. That decision that used to excite you will now leave you feeling heavy. Some previously scary paths will now make you feel safe. This doesn't contradict itself. It's expanding. It's not that you're unable to make a decision. You're becoming more exact. You are also changing your perspective on relationships in the future because you feel younger. You are no longer drawn to intensity over stability. Chaos does not feel like passion anymore. You'll want to be honest, consistent, and emotionally safe. He says, I'm refining your desires so they don't cost you your peace. This level of refinement represents safety. It prevents you from repeating fatigue-inducing cycles. You are gaining confidence and don't need to be reassured all the time. You're no longer looking everywhere for signs. You are no longer questioning every decision you make. Being this confident in yourself is not arrogance. It's reassuring. Believe that God is guiding you even when things are unclear. This will give you peace of mind. While you are in this stage, Archangel Michael is keeping an eye out for anger. When you are young again, you become excited. You may want to move faster and see results sooner. But God says to walk with both excitement and calm. If you rush now, you may experience stress later. You're learning that slow obedience leads to long-lasting peace. You might also reconsider making long-term commitments. Plans for jobs, living arrangements, daily routines, and even dreams may be carefully reviewed. This isn't a mess. It is consistent. God is ensuring that the things you build in the future can sustain the joy He has restored. It does not help to become stronger if the foundation removes it again. Sometimes old voices will try to tell you what to do. The sound of fear. The voices of people who knew you during your periods of fatigue. Individuals who advise caution when God intends to be faithful. This is why being intelligent is so important. All warnings are not necessarily good advice. Certain alerts are just fears disguised as concerns. Regardless of the challenges that may arise, God's guidance always brings peace. I implore you to consider this matter with me for a moment. Assist in spreading this message to others who are facing the same dilemma as you. It will bless them while also preserving their spirit. You can show your support for God's actions by liking the video. Inform someone who is in the process of rebuilding their life after a period of exhaustion. Please leave a comment indicating that you are making decisions based on peaceful principles. Additionally, if you have not already done so, we encourage you to subscribe to this channel and join the growing community. This correspondence is meant to accompany you rather than to serve as an interruption. Furthermore, God is teaching you how to make plans without anxiety. You were once hesitant to plan because you were unaware of your own strength. Making plans now instills optimism because you believe in your abilities. When you are young, you have a positive outlook on the future. You're no longer concerned about the future. You approach it with optimism. Archangel Michael reminds you that discernment does not require perfection. It is understandable that you will not always make the right decision. It is critical that you maintain self-confidence throughout the process. You will have no remorse for making changes. You will solve problems without retaliating against yourself. Self-compassion is essential for maintaining a sense of self. There is currently a more comprehensive understanding developing. Not only do you make plans, but you also live your life. A life that cannot be lived without peace. Where happiness is secure. A place where people can take a break. This vision will help you make better decisions than any other advice. God has inscribed this dream in your heart. There are also changes to your time management strategies. Time is no longer a resource wasted in order to hide one's true emotions. It is something you cherish because it is a source of life. Simply acknowledging this will keep you youthful for years to come. Please remain with me as this unfolds. The following section is emotionally charged and deeply personal. God will discuss the idea of leaving a legacy. Your rejuvenated youth's purpose is to serve others, and how this season is associated with a much larger event than the present. Please wait a moment. You won't want to miss the next maneuver, which will bring everything together. God is now gently redirecting your focus away from the present and toward legacy, my dear. Heaven sees legacy differently than the world does. This rekindled youth is not solely for your own good, peace, or comfort. It also applies to items that will last longer than one season. He says, I am renewing you because there is something that must endure through you. Your main goal for a long time was to stay alive. It is critical to avoid thinking about the future in order to live a full life. You don't make decisions that change the future. You must complete them in order to survive the day. However, the survival mode has ended. Vision is now restored. Vision generates its own set of inquiries. Instead, how do I manage? However, what am I constructing? This change alone marks the beginning of a new chapter. Archangel Michael is present as God considers the impact. Impact isn't always audible or visible. In some cases, it is appropriate to remain silent. When you are under a lot of stress, it can affect how you present yourself, listen to others, and behave. Individuals will remember the emotions they felt while spending time with you long after your words have been forgotten. Your newfound peace of mind will last for a while. Your perception of influence is also improving as a result of God. You previously believed that in order to be influential, you needed to be present, contribute, and produce on a consistent basis. It conveys the impression that you are older. However, God asserts that genuine influence stems from completeness. People are fed when they are full, not depleted. This is a legacy that will last for generations. This renewal that is taking place at this time wields significant power. You were not prepared to face the impending challenges without sacrificing your identity, so God did not heal you sooner. Currently, you are. All of these factors prepare you to build without burning out, your boundaries, rhythm, and healed discernment. Legacy's inherent fatigue has been rendered obsolete. The peaceful structure has stood the test of time. Archangel Michael also protects your heart from the stress of having to deal with all important matters right away. Legacy accumulates over time. You do not need the entire picture at this time. Over time, the accumulation of small, consistent steps becomes significant. In God's words, do not belittle consistency. What appears to be ordinary today may be the determining factor tomorrow. You may feel a new urge to live according to your own desires. What you say, how you behave, how you look after your body, and how you spend your time. These impulses do not arise spontaneously. These are the resurgence of primal instincts. It is natural for the youth of God to want to invest rather than waste. You will no longer be as inclined to pursue items that previously provided emotional comfort. Additionally, this is how God is changing your perspective on errors. Historically, the cost of making mistakes was viewed as high because time was perceived to be running out. I now believe that mistakes can be beneficial. When you learn, adapt, and grow, you don't spiral. This resilience is critical for long-term outcomes. Individuals who construct objects eventually fail. They simply rise from their failures and refuse to give up. Archangel Michael urges you to remember that leaving a legacy is not about outperforming others. Looking sideways causes a loss of focus. God desires that you approach the future with both humility and assurance. There is enough space for your comments. You are not too late to join the story. You arrived at the right time and had the necessary knowledge to complete the task. It is probable that there will be times when the burden of responsibility becomes excessive. It is not because of your vulnerability, but because of the value of the items you own. Next, return to the rhythm that God gave you. Take a break. Inhale deeply. You are no longer responsible for transporting it independently. Heaven is concerned about the thoughts that pass through you. Additionally, God is preparing you to be a positive role model rather than a negative one. Because of your journey, people will realize that healing is possible. Not because you are perfect, but because you are genuine. Honesty about the process, the required speed, and the level of grace. When people are genuine, they can recover without having to put on a front. You will also notice that your prayers undergo another transformation. Their primary goal is to build rapport rather than to inquire. They also prioritize collaboration over savings. This brings joy to God. Partnership necessitates trust, which reflects maturity and youth in collaboration. Archangel Michael ensures that pride does not spread as power grows. You will no longer need to coerce yourself into humility because you are aware of your origins. Expressing gratitude acts as an anchor. People who are grounded grow deep roots. The presence of deep roots allows fruit to be preserved for an extended period of time. Furthermore, this applies to God's actions throughout the generations. Your family quietly passed down certain elements that are now helping you recover. Burying one's emotions, working too hard, and failing to take care of oneself. Making an alternative decision disrupts those patterns. That rupture is extremely robust. It alters futures that are difficult to comprehend. Furthermore, this message is about to move to its final destination. Remain in the present moment. The following is not the conclusion. This is a seal. God is on the verge of completing this journey of youth, healing, and purpose. Before we sign this agreement, I need one final statement from you. Write these words with sincerity in the comments section. I'm now walking in a state of protected peace and renewed youth. This is not just a comment. Your testimony is being prepared in real time. This indicates that you agree with every aspect. Heaven has communicated with you throughout the course of this message. Make it distinct. Ensure that your writing is precise. Let it be the final agreement that guarantees the permanence of all blessings bestowed today. Everything will be connected, and a blessing will be sent out at the very last minute, confirming the start of what heaven has already begun. Continue to persevere. You are standing on the verge of a sacred site. My beloved child, this is not the end. This works as an adhesive. God's words to you throughout this journey are now ingrained in your spirit. Restoration progressed from a pledge to a procedure, and it has progressed from a process to a permanent entity. He asserts, I will maintain what I have rejuvenated. You will not return to your previous state of affairs. You are developing as a person who has been transformed by grace, wisdom, and newfound courage. This final moment is sacred because God is doing more than just renewing you. He is instilling confidence in you, and you will enjoy walking with Him once more. You used to have a lot of doubts about yourself. You questioned your own judgment. You are uncertain about your actions. You were concerned about making a mistake. However, God is currently working to quiet the internal din. Your comprehension of my words goes beyond your expectations. He says, not only in God, but also in the aspect of yourself that waits, listens, and obeys the command. Before we wrap up, I'd like to speak with the people who contributed. Currently, certain people in your life are too exhausted to pursue optimism. They are too tired to try to find a word. Someone needs to deliver it to them. You are that person. When you share this message, it is more than just a hyperlink. You bring the anointing of healing into their living room, bedroom, car, or any other location where they are in despair. Sharing the blessings that God has bestowed upon you demonstrates that you are not selfish. This begins the prophetic breakthrough in your personal life. It ensures that blessings can flow. It allows heaven to observe your situation. Before you proceed, please click the share button. Please forward this to a single person. Distribute it to 5 people. Kindly forward it to your story. Be open to the anointing that flows through your hands. Watch as God grants you breakthrough after breakthrough. Tihol, distribute it promptly. Be the container. Discontinue the breakthrough. Archangel Michael is currently observing the ceiling. He has protected you during times of fatigue, confusion, delay, and rebirth. He now stands without a sword, raised in readiness for battle, but with the ability to defend others. What was previously permissible to enter at your leisure will no longer be allowed. Burnout cycles have been discontinued. Self-doubt cycles no longer exist. You are not returning to your former self. You are developing into the person you were always meant to be. God also improves your perception of yourself in the mirror of time. You do not evaluate your life based on your regrets or the actions of others. It is evaluated using 3 criteria: obedience, peace, and alignment. This change has made your walking style more respectful. You're no longer in a hurry to demonstrate anything. You are no longer ashamed of the fact that you need to rest. You do not exist solely to endure. You exist to attain completeness. There will be days that test you, but they will not define your life. You will experience moments of uncertainty, but they will not derail you because you have developed the ability to regain your bearings. You understand the art of pausing. You are a good listener. That information is extremely valuable. That information is novel. It is not always so consistent. God says, "I am delighted that you have permitted me to assist you in your recovery." You have not become more resilient. You maintained your resolve. Despite the pain, you didn't withdraw. Your honesty allowed your heart to stay soft. Hearts that are tender remain young. Teaching soft hearts is still possible. Keep your tender hearts in close proximity to God. According to Archangel Michael, the next stage of your life will be more enjoyable. It does not mean that you will be relieved of any responsibilities. However, you will not be required to transport an item that is not your own. Walking will be easy for you. You can relax without experiencing any negative emotions. There is no reason for concern. This is the end result of the restoration. Pay close attention at this time. It is critical to remember the tremendous impact that consistency can have. Continue to prioritize peace. Maintain your prioritization of relaxation. Continue to listen to your own thoughts. To feel rejuvenated, no major changes are required. You need rhythms that are consistent. God does not desire for us to be perfect. His desire is that you be present. Immediately after completing this seal, say your consent aloud. If you fully understand this term, type "I walk in renewal" in the comments section. The blessing code 2049 has been released, sealing your life with unbreakable strength, secure peace, and renewed youth. To convey this message to you, someone chose to collaborate with heaven. I hear the Lord say, "Those who carry the fire must also protect the flame." This channel was created to give hope to the tired, remind the forgotten, and revitalize areas where time seemed to have passed. Please keep in mind that each seed you plant in this quest will grow into a torch that shines light into another's darkness. Heaven progresses through the words of those who are willing, but it grows through the goodness of their souls. I'm currently addressing you in this method. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. The verse, "Give, and it will be given to you," does not only apply to Jesus. It is an ongoing commitment that affects your future. I'd like to extend an invitation to you at this time through a simple act of trust. Approach this situation with a feeling of purpose, honesty, and hope. The amount you contribute today is not a donation. Your heavens are opened via the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and witness what rewards God delivers into your life. When you subscribe, you will not be limited to viewing future videos. It refers to heaven's recognition of you as someone who consistently communicates with the prophetic message of the current era. When you subscribe, you activate a spiritual GPS that keeps you in harmony with the divine. I am not interested in drifting, you tell the Lord. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. I would prefer to remain in my current location under the open window of your blessing. Your life is about to end as a result of this message. To subscribe immediately, simply click the button. Make sure it's the final agreement you make. Allow this to serve as proof that you will carry out all of the instructions God has given you today. I bless everyone who donates. May God now increase your obedience, replenish what you have lost, and speed up the process of reaching peace. Please do not delay. Follow the instructions provided. Plant your seed now, and it will communicate for years to come. Before we wrap up this captivating story, I recommend that we take a moment to reflect on this deep reality. This message was not discovered coincidentally. This is not just a coincidence. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He extends his hand and invites you to a high-vibrational, protected community where divine abundance is more than a hope, but a promise. This spiritual idea is quite simple. Nonetheless, it has the capacity to transform your entire life. You will not just gain blessings if you follow it. They will multiply and permeate all aspects of your existence. Accepting this invitation grants you immediate early access to potent content and heavenly insights that are now unavailable to the broader public. You now have the opportunity to enter a sacred area where you will receive unshakable support, spiritual guidance, and speedy progress towards your destiny. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Your triumph is near. However, your vigor, presence, and attentiveness are already extremely valued. Action is required. Your abundance is ready. You're currently receiving a message from God. Pay close attention, because this is an extraordinary moment with only 45 minutes left. Archangel Michael stands beside you with his wings spread and his sword gleaming with heavenly fire. He is urging you to act and open this right away. God's heart tells you that these are critical moments. However, you have been ignoring them, and every second that passes without action strengthens the enemy. There is someone you know who is attempting to seize everything you own. They are devising strategies to evict you from your residence, which God has designated for you for a specific purpose. It is also important to understand that this isn't just about furniture and walls. This refers to your spiritual heritage, blessings, and destiny. You may not have expected this. You may have been correct in your assumption that your home and its occupants were safe. But everything is visible to God. He is aware of the information being withheld, stated in secret, and planned behind your back. Today, God demonstrates all of this. There are people who are motivated to harm you. They are receiving assistance from someone they didn't expect. You were confident in this individual's loyalty. However, God is showing you the true nature of their intentions. Avoid attempting to determine its identity. It is unwise to try to rationalize it in your mind. Your protector is God, who is the only person capable of understanding the entire situation. Archangel Michael's cries are now audible in your spirit. Please do not disregard this message to avoid causing harm to God. Please do not delay. Consider the enormous influence that Archangel Michael could have on you for a short time. I feel the weight of his sword as a shield rather than a threat. Feel the Archangel's wings wrap around your home, forming an imperceptible barrier that prevents any immoral or sinful activity from passing through without God's permission. This isn't a metaphor. This represents the spiritual truth. There is currently a struggle against the circumstances that are affecting you. However, you are obligated to follow my request. Pray, pay attention, and remain faithful. These are the components that will enable divine intervention. Please do not interpret this message as a threat meant to intimidate you. People should never be concerned simply because they have the ability to be so. God, on the other hand, instructs us to be alert when danger approaches. Your life, home, and peace of mind are currently under threat. You may feel calm and confident that everything is in order. However, appearances can be deceptive. The person who intends to harm you has access to resources you are unaware of. They have requested assistance from an unexpected individual. It could be a relative, a friend, or a neighbor. God gave you this warning ahead of time so that you could respond with prayer, wisdom, and faith, rather than fear. Inhale deeply. Close your eyes. Visualize a warm golden light surrounding your home. This is the defense of God. Imagine Archangel Michael standing in each corner, sword raised, ready to thwart any evil intentions before they reach you. Do not just recite prayers. Pray with all your heart. Ask God to reveal the person who intends to harm you. Request that God stop all attempts to remove you from this location. You got it from Him. Amen. Have faith that God will immediately answer your prayer. Believe that God is already working out the solution. Please remember this. You have ignored numerous warnings in the past. However, this must be addressed immediately. It is only 45 minutes. Significant spiritual transformations can take place within a reasonable time frame. The person who intends to harm you is currently in motion. They are planning, making phone calls, and preparing to carry out actions that may appear insignificant, but are intended to harm you. Nevertheless, God's power is far more potent. God has already disrupted their plans. God will use their bad intentions for your good.